Wow, this is some lineup, isn't it? Wanda Fischer from WAMC in Albany as your MC right now. Some of my radio friends will join you later to tell you about other performers. But in addition to what you're hearing now, some of the people you'll be hearing throughout the day include Peter Yarrow, Reggie Harris, Tommy Sands, Abby Gardner, and more. Stay tuned. Up next, we have 3 performers in this segment, the first of whom is one of the early members of the Hudson River Sloop Singers. Bob Killian appeared on the first Clearwater album, that's this again, and also on Broad Old River, the third Sloop Singers album, another vinyl production. He's an activist and organizer who founded the Clearwater Festival at Sandy Hook, the Monmouth County Friends of Clearwater, and the environmental organization Aquarian Quest in Florida. On the first Clearwater album, Bob appears on Sailing Up, Sailing Down, You Can't Eat the Oysters, Good Morning Brother Hudson, and Shenandoah. Comprised of a trio, the Judith Tulloch Band is based in the Hudson Valley and performs a wide range of music in the tri-state area. Judith is a music teacher in Orange County, and her roots began in jazz, classical, and rock styles, complemented by travels to see and perform in many different places like New Orleans, Seattle, the Galapagos Islands, Southeast Asia, Iceland, Europe, and Africa. Stephen Ficino began guitar lessons at an early age, while being influenced by jazz, world music, and progressive rock styles. In 1998, he became interested in woodwind instruments from around the world and has been playing flute ever since, but without any formal training. His heavy influences from great flutists such as Herbie Mann and Hubert Laws stood in for training. Tom Richardson has performed and collaborated as a bassist with numerous Hudson Valley musicians, which has given him the opportunity to experience diverse musical genres and ensembles. He's also a professional music educator who says he feels fortunate to pursue his passion and call it work. And our final performers in this segment are Laurie and Ira McIntosh. Known for their songs of the Catskills, Ira and Story Laurie travel the wilds of New York State and beyond, collecting traditional and contemporary songs to present to audiences of all ages. They've also gained a reputation for getting even the most reluctant audiences to sing along and generally having a rollicking good time while musing about the wonders of the world around us. And then before we get back to the performers, I just want to remind you about your chance to participate in this virtual festival. Sure, you can be singing your heart out from the privacy of your own home, but on the back of the first Clearwater album it says, "These artists contributed their talents to the Clearwater album, hoping to reawaken a love and pride in a river that once ran clear. These artists you're hearing today volunteered their talents for the Clearwater, and I hope you'll do the same by supporting today's events at clearwaterfestival.org.
How y'all doing? Playing music, I'm a boat captain. I have a 100-ton master's license, U.S. Coast Guard license, master's ticket. And I do a tour out on a state park here in Florida, Mayaca River State Park, and take out 80 people or so looking for alligators or bald eagles or wild hogs or whatever it is out there. A lot of fish in that lake, too. Speaking of fish, I wrote this little song. It's called Catfish Jumpin'. Play my a silver lining. When the fish are jumping in the middle of the bay, it make me want to take my time with a hook and line, and then pull the mine. I think I'm gonna do just fine. Jumping in the middle of the bay, but it made me want to take my time with a hook and line, and I pull the mine. I think I'm gonna do just fine with a hook and line, and I pull the mine, and I think I'm gonna do just fine. I got this little dobro here. I bought it in a thrift store down in Northport, Florida, down not far from where I live right now. Learned how to tune it into a open G tuning, and a little song came out of it. I call it On the Right Track. Lately I find that I can't seem I used to be. I never look back on the right track, you see. Once in a while or so, maybe inside a dream, I find a new place, a wonderful space it seems. Seldom cloudy, hardly trace of rain. Smiling faces say howdy, and won't you come back again? Seldom cloudy, hardly trace of rain. Smiling faces say howdy, won't you come back again? Lately I find that I can't seem I used to be. Never look back on the right track, you see. Track you see. Said I never look back on the right track you see. Lately I find that a weaver of words. He was a weaver of words, words of peace in your soul, words of hearts that are whole. He was a weaver of words, and he sang about you, and he sang about me, and his words all rang true of a world that is free, free from hunger and war, free from racism's hate, with no rich and no poor, where there is no waste, where earth's bounty is shared by the whole human race. He was a weaver of words. And he sang about you, and he sang about me, and his words all rang true of a world that is free, free from hunger and war, free from racism's hate, with some rich but no poor. There is no waste where earth's bounty is shared by the whole human race. He was a weaver of words.
Hi, we're the Judith Tulloch Band at the Clearwater Revival. This first song is called Comes to Mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once I was in a crisis and spent years now. Told me I was standing in their way, feeling a little challenged again. Wonder how it's ever gonna stay this way. Now the passion very much. I'd like to thank Pete for creating the Clearwater Beacon Sloop Club and all you amazing people in this community that have done everything to help the river, the Hudson River. Thank you. This song is called The River Song. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 'Much. We have these great musicians here. Steve Franchino on the flute.
Thank you very much.
Tom Richardson on the bass. We usually have a drummer, but we have a distance problem today. So we're a trio, but a band. This next song is called Grooving to the Beat of the Times. Thank you so much, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't teach me all the motions, just that still I know. Shuffling down the road, favorable melody, my ear. Rockin' to the beat of the time. Rockin' to the beat of the times. 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 Of the times. Rockin' to the beat of the times. Yeah, 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 Thank you, everybody. Thank you for helping the Clearwater. We love you, Clearwater. We love everybody that's part of the river. Thank you.
Hi, friends.
And welcome to our garden.
It's really nice to be able to bring our garden down to the virtual Clearwater revival, and it makes a special connection for me. Pete Seeger was one of the first people to ever put an instrument into my hands, and he showed me that anybody can make music. And I can still remember how exciting that was for me and how good it made me feel. And that happened right here on this very mountain. Pete came up for the Catskill Mountain Folk Festivals that my mom organized. And my mom also would bring me down to the Hudson River to see the sloop Clearwater. And back then, the river was dirty. It was full of all kinds of garbage and gunk. And, you know, she would have never imagined letting me swim in it. But now, years later, the river's a whole lot cleaner, largely thanks to the good work of the Clearwater. Our friend Danny Einbender was one of the people who worked aboard the Clearwater, teaching people how to make things better. And he wrote a really good song about making things cleaner and greener. And we miss being able to sing with lots of people together these days, so we hope you'll sing this song with us. In case you don't know the song, we'll teach it to you. Just repeat after me, along with Story Laurie. You can learn the chorus, and then we'll sing it all together. Let's give it a try.
Sounds good.
It really isn't garbage. Sing that.
It really isn't garbage
Till you mix it all together.
till you mix it all together.
It really isn't garbage
It really isn't garbage
till you throw it away.
till you throw it away.
Separate your paper and plastic,
Separate your paper, plastic,
compost, glass, and metal.
compost, glass, and metal.
Then you get to use it all another day.
Then you get to use it all another day.
All right, you got it now. Let's sing it all together. It really isn't garbage till you mix it all together. It really isn't garbage till you throw it away. Separate your paper, plastic, compost, glass, and metal. Then you get to use it all another day. Well, there's garbage in the kitchen. Yeah, there's garbage in the basement. There's garbage in the bathroom, yes, and in the backyard too. Sometimes it seems to me like we are burying our future. That stinky pile of trash gives me the garbage blues. Because it really isn't garbage till you mix it all together. It really isn't garbage till you throw it away. Separate your paper, plastic, compost, glass, and metal. And then you get to use it all another day. Now, If you put it into a landfill, it could seep into your drinking water. It hurts the fish and beaches if we dump it in the sea. Take time to just recycle, that's a solution to pollution. Don't count on someone else, it's up to you and me. Because it really isn't garbage till you mix it all together. It really isn't garbage till you throw it away. Separate your paper, plastic, compost, glass, and metal. Then you get to use it all another day. Now you know there are some people who think we really ought to burn it. It's so convenient, makes new jobs and electricity. But if you're gonna burn it, somebody's gonna have to breathe it. And what to do with what is left, there's no guarantees. But it really isn't garbage till you mix it all together. It really isn't garbage till you throw it away. Just separate your paper, plastic, compost, glass, and metal. Then you get to use it all another day. Now, all of this can work much better if everybody does it. So always pay attention when you go to the store. You've got to encourage businesses to try their hardest to recycle. Don't buy it unless it's been something somewhere before. Because it really isn't garbage till you mix it all together. It really isn't garbage till you throw it away. Separate your paper, plastic, compost, glass, and metal. Then you get to use it all another day. And then you get to use it all another day. All right.
Oh, that is such an excellent sing-along song, and one that we would often hear at the revival in Croton Point Park. And I love how it keeps the spirit of Danny going strong. And you know, one of the things that I loved about Pete Seeger always is how he would get a whole crowd singing along. He would just always do that. He had such an amazing talent for that. And Pete loved to hear the diversity of voices, and often if there were people in the audience who spoke a different language, he'd ask them to join in their language. It's always such a wonderful thing. And call and response songs are great for that. And this next song that we're about to do is a call and response song that was written by a class of kindergarten students from Roxbury, New York, which happens to be just over the mountain that way. And those kids and I had fun writing the song together after spending some time out in their school garden, marveling over the ways in which all the different forces in the garden work together to help the plants grow, all the insects, the birds, the seeds, the sun, everything. And at that school, they also had a rainbow garden. And the kids and I spent some time there too, marveling over all of the different colors and thinking about how wonderful it is in this world to have such a diversity of colors, and how we wanted to celebrate that in the song, all the different colors and all of the things working together. So we wrote this little song. Ira's going to sing the response on the verses, and you can join in with him.
We'll just repeat after Story Laurie.
Yeah, and then on the choruses, once you catch on, you can join in on that as well. Ready to do this?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We are flowers.
We are flowers.
Standing up tall.
Standing up tall.
Soaking up the sun.
Soaking up the sun.
In the garden.
In the garden.
Along comes a cloud.
Along comes a cloud.
And the rain starts to fall.
The rain starts to fall.
Our roots drink it up.
Our roots drink it up.
In the garden.
In the garden.
We are rainbow flowers in the garden. Red, orange, yellow, and blue. We are rainbow flowers in the garden. Come smile with us and we'll smile with you. The wind blows our leaves.
The wind blows our leaves.
And our petals too.
Petals too.
A soft breeze.
A soft breeze.
In the garden.
In the garden.
Bees fly by.
Bees fly by.
Sipping our nectar.
Sipping our nectar.
And turn it into honey.
Turn it into honey.
In the garden.
In the garden.
We are rainbow flowers in the garden. Red, orange, yellow, and blue. We are rainbow flowers in the garden. Come smile with us and we'll smile with you. The everyone. Out in the garden and in our rainbow race, so many different colors make the world a beautiful place. We are rainbow flowers in the garden, red, orange, yellow, and blue. We are rainbow flowers in the garden. Come smile with us and we'll smile with you. Come smile with us and we'll smile with you. Well, thank you so much for joining us here in our garden. And you know, I'm hearing so many different creatures singing along with us now too, just as I imagine you folks are singing along at your homes.
We hope we get to see you all again really soon. Thanks for helping us to try to save the sloop that saved the river.
Hello everybody, I'm Wanda Fischer, longtime host of the Hudson River Sampler on WAMC in Albany, New York. It's a great honor for me to be here for the virtual Revival Festival today, and I know you're going to love the lineup that the folks at Clearwater put together for you. Can you remember the first time you ever heard about the sloop Clearwater? For me, I heard about it from Pete himself at one of his concerts. But what brought it alive to me were the 2 vinyl albums. Remember vinyl? It's making a comeback, you know, those black plastic looking things with the tiny holes in the middle. The Clearwater album that I just showed you, then followed by Clearwater 2. I played those at the radio station in Massachusetts where I first went on the air. This one had not only Pete, but Laurie Wyatt, Gordon Bach, John Robertson, Tony Barron, Don McLean, Tom Winslow, Reverend Frederick Douglass Kirkpatrick, Jeff Warner, Andy Wallace, and the Sloop Singers, and so many more. That music had me singing about the sloop before I ever saw it in person. Then somewhere around 1983, I first set foot on the sloop at a pumpkin sale in Albany when I brought my 2 children aboard after a concert. I had to drag my son off because he had a conversation with Pete about staying on the sloop. Memories, music, sailing up, sailing down, cleaning up the river. The liner notes for the first album cites Pete's personal vision of the Hudson in the song, "Old Father Hudson, tell old Father Hudson that we'll set him free." And that's what the sloop did, cleaned up the river and set him free. What do you remember? If you want to keep your memories alive and pass those on to future generations, I encourage you to go to clearwaterfestival.org and support the organization. It's safe, convenient, and you'll become a part of the vision Pete had so many years ago. In the meantime, fasten your seatbelts. We've got an incredible group of musicians, storytellers, and some of the finest MCs you'll meet here for you today.
Well, everything is acoustic blues. There's some Delta blues, and this new album, Return, is the rest of my set list that I've always loved these songs. Just the guitar and everything. So excited. So without further ado, I'm going to get going. Shall we? I can't tell my future now. I can't tell my past. Can't tell my future now. I can't tell my past. Seems like every minute's sure gonna be my last. Well, now the minutes seem like hours and the hours seem like days. Minutes seems like hours and the hours seem like days. Seems like that man ought to stop his mean, low down ways. That I'm loving the ways, you know he's lightning me. I said he's lightning when he smiles. picture there now, sitting up on my shelf. See that picture now, sitting up on my shelf. Tell by that I'm getting sick and tired of being by myself. That's why I can't tell my future, no. I can't tell my past. Can't tell my future, no. I can't tell my past. Seems like every minute sure gonna be my last. Oh, sweet baby. Yeah, yeah, just try me one more time. Oh no, baby, I don't wanna go. No, no, sweet baby. Honey, you might do me like you did before. Well, the man I love got me moaning and crying. Oh, the man I love. Oh, the man I love, he's got me moaning and crying. Yeah, yeah. Easy, baby, I'll come home and stay. But you're robbing me, baby, sure might drive me away. Oh, you're robbing me, baby. Oh, you robbed me, baby, sure might drive me away. The man I love. Oh, the man I love. Oh, the man I love, he's got me moaning and crying. How was I crying? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. With the man I love. Oh, the man I love. Well, the man I love, he's got me moaning and crying. How was I crying and moaning? Bring your nightshirt and my gown. Let's get together now. Shake 'em on down. Oh, must I holler? Yeah, must I shake 'em on down? Tell me, must I holler, baby? Must I shake 'em on down? Tell me, baby, don't you know it's true? Shaking that thing is good for you. Oh, must I holler? Yeah, must I shake 'em on down? Tell me, must I holler, baby? Must I shake 'em on down? Tell me, baby, can't you see? Shaking that thing is good for me. Oh, must I holler? Yeah, must I shake 'em on down? Tell me, must I holler, baby? Must I shake 'em on down? Tell me, must I holler, baby? Must I shake 'em on down? If you ain't good looking, it's not the clothes you wear. Good kind treatment will take you everywhere. Oh, must I holler? Yeah, must I shake 'em on down? Tell me, must I holler, baby? Must I shake 'em on down? Shake 'em down one more time, guitar. Tell me, must I holler, baby? Must I shake 'em on down? Tell me, must I holler, baby? Must I shake 'em on down?
Greetings, my name is Mair, and I'm a board member of the Hudson River Sloop Clearwater, and I want to welcome you to this year's virtual Great Hudson River Revival. Normally, we would be enjoying ourselves on the beaches and the shores of the Croton-on-Hudson Riverfront Park, enjoying a day of festival, music, love, but also awareness. In keeping with the traditions and love of Pete and Toshi Seeger, we are now stepping up to this platform so that we can still continue that tradition in the wake of today's current COVID-19 pandemic. I am a proud member of the board, and it is indeed an honor to welcome you, but also share with you our memory and our love of Pete. I was a young man when Pete launched the Hudson River Sloop Clearwater, but more importantly founded our greater organization. And what Pete had done then in 1966 was to build an organization that centered around his love for people, movement building, and the environment. Pete was a hero in that he pretty much wrote the score of the civil rights movement and worked always in solidarity with community and activist struggles for justice. And the Hudson River Sloop Clearwater has continued that tradition in building educational awareness around the Hudson River. The Hudson River was once one of our nation's most polluted rivers. Industries cropped up alongside of it and had for generations, for hundreds of years, dumped toxins. In fact, the Hudson River is a Superfund site with a river flowing over top. We have worked since 1969 and the launching of the sloop Clearwater to actively and aggressively work toward the cleaning up of the Hudson. We have long to go, but the work continues, and we need your continued support. Sloop Clearwater provides not only environmental education awareness, it provides a lot of that grassroots activity, communal support that we've witnessed throughout the entire Hudson River Valley. I grew up and spent my whole life in the Hudson River Valley, from the shores of Peekskill, New York, where I grew up, to where I work now at the Capitol at Albany, New York. And the Hudson River Sloop Clearwater has been part of my struggle and part of the voices in building education awareness within underserved community. In Arbor Hill in particular, when we led the fight against the Answers incinerator, Hudson River Sloop Clearwater has been an active ally. When we were doing the massive battle and fight against PCBs in the Hudson River Sloop Clearwater was a critical allied asset leading toward the cleanup and removal of PCBs from the Upper Hudson, and also as a continual voice calling for the rest of the 200 miles of cleanup from the Troy Dam south. But it's not just there. Your revival dollars support our organization and its efforts to deal with everything from climate change as well as radioactive and nuclear waste. Hudson River Sloop Clearwater was very instrumental in building awareness and support for communities that were impacted by the Indian Point nuclear power plant. And Hudson River Sloop Clearwater is clearly at the table right now, making sure those communities around it equally still continually get justice. I know that some come for the music, some come for the community, and some come for the love. But what Pete and Toshi Seeger recognized was the threat of these things were all critical to successful community and movement building. Using arts and music and the love to build community and building awareness and conscious about the backdrop of the Hudson River has been a powerful and instrumental tool and critical to the success of the Hudson River Sloop Clearwater. The Hudson Sloop Clearwater right now is also still in the forefront with the fight for justice. We see right now we're struggling with the racial justice issues with police and police brutality. This is something that Pete had dealt with since the beginning, as I say, of the civil rights struggle. He's been at the forefront and at the front lines with Arlo Guthrie and other singers bringing music and awareness to some of the greatest civil rights, human rights, and labor rights struggle. So I'm hoping that you enjoy this virtual online fest, that you consider to support the work of the Great Hudson River Sloop Clearwater, but more importantly, invest in our long-term struggle to keep the struggle and battle going. So whether it is virtual or whether you're there in time and there in person, we welcome your support, and we pray that you keep lifting up that memory of struggle and activism that has come to symbolize the great efforts of the Hudson River Sloop Clearwater. Thank you for your time.
I've been thinking about Isaac Newton and the apple that fell from his tree, and the subsequent notion that somehow that motion was related to gravity. Now you'd think he'd want the credit for the laws and the theories he proposed, but I found Mr. Newton to be a humble dude when I read something else that he supposed. He said we're standing on the shoulders of giants, inheriting the knowledge of the ones that come before us, standing on the shoulders of giants, and from way up here we could see much more. I'm just a songwriter, but the thought did occur to me, if the theory is true, then what about the musical part of our history? Aren't we all standing on the shoulders, standing on the shoulders, standing on the shoulders of the ones that come before us, standing on the shoulders, standing on the shoulders, standing on the shoulders of love. It's not that kind of music, he said with a smile. It's more about the message, less about the style. Then he played a chord and each of us would try to learn a part. He brought us all together singing music from the heart. It was a lesson in harmony, and we'd make that joyful sound. It was a song about spirits reaching for that higher ground. Sometimes it was a banjo, songs from other lands. Sometimes it was a 12-string, or just the sound of clapping hands. But there always came a moment kind of hard to understand, when the music became bigger than the man. It was a song about justice, asking, won't you take a stand? It was a song about a song to sing all over this land. It's not that kind of music, I still can hear him say, though the 12 strings on the wall now, waiting for a brighter day. I remember when it only took one voice and one guitar to bring the world together. Oh, to bring the world together. To bring the world together, singing music from the heart. Yeah, that's a song about Pete. Didn't start off that way. I just felt called to write a song about message of music, because I learned so much from Pete, you know. I think we're called in many different ways to a horizon that we don't really know the details of. I think to a certain extent that was true of Pete. Must have been in '66 when he stood on the bank of the Hudson and looked at the toxic waste and the oil spill. He thought, geez, if I could just get some people down here to look at that, they'd all want to clean it up. Pete was great at calling people together. And so 3 years later, the great Clearwater took to the Hudson. Wow, that must have been amazing. Sorry I missed the actual launch and the sailing, but you know, since that time, about 500,000 people have come to see what Pete saw and learned from the river what needs to be done. And what an incredible, incredible change has been wrought now. The fact is that school kids come on board. The whole environmental consciousness has been passed to a younger generation. That's a great gift. And you can partner in that. You know, if you check the screen right around here, I'm sure there's a little button you can push where you can be part of the Clearwater family, donating your time or your money. Yeah, not that kind of music, but definitely that kind of family. Bless you, Pete.
Beautiful out there, isn't it? Well, did you know there are more than 220 species of fish that live in the Hudson River? And the river today is dramatically cleaner than it was when Clearwater first started sailing up and down back in the 60s. But there's still a lot of work to be done. And our friends at the New York State Department of Public Health would like us to share with you that if you go out fishing in the river, for the most part, you should know that it's not considered safe to eat the fish. Maybe you've been out on the banks of the river and you've seen a sign that looks like this. Some fish and crabs from these waters may be considered harmful to eat. Well, unfortunately, because a legacy of environmental pollution, there's still a lot of work to be done in the river. And so, before you go out fishing to catch fish that you plan to eat, check out the Department of Public Health's website and learn a lot more. See ya!